So I want to dispel a common misconception about self-inquiry. A frequent question I get is something along the lines of, well, I can't find the I, so I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to look next. Or a question something like, is it this I or that I? Is it the belief about me or the image of myself? Or is it the thought I am? Is that what I'm looking for? What do I do when I find it? What do I do if I can't find it? So these are the types of questions that I get pretty frequently when it comes to self-inquiry. And the tricky part about this, although it's rather simple, is that what I'm really pointing to, or what self-inquiry, if properly done, leads to, is a recognition of the nature in direct experience of the one that has those questions, the one that doesn't know, the one that feels confused, the one that's aware of the thoughts, the one that's asking the question, hoping for an answer, the one that feels like it can get an answer. So one way of saying it is it's at the center of what you are experiencing right now, but it's also the whole of what you're experiencing right now. And the you that's experiencing it is only a thought. Only through the reflection of thought can there be a sense of, oh, it's a me and I'm experiencing this way or this that way. That can only be a thought. So what is it that is aware of that thought before it even has to have a thought saying it's aware of that thought? It's that close, that immediate. It's that right now. It's so simple, it's hard. It's so close that we search past it, searching for it all the time. The sense of the one searching itself is a thought. So what happens when you recognize that? What happens when you orient toward the movement of thought itself? If a thought starts to arise saying, oh, I'm not sure if this is the right way, ... Just orient toward the movement of that thought starting to arise. Don't stand apart from it. Don't engage it in the usual way we engage thoughts, which is to go unconscious. Think consciously, or move attention into the thought space immediately. The forming of the thought, when we're oriented directly toward it, will start to coalesce into a sort of holistic movement of consciousness, which will start to feel like a non-movement of consciousness. But even the term consciousness can become a thought, so I don't want you to think about this. Just feel into what I'm pointing to. As thoughts arise, whether they're thoughts about me, which most of them are either directly or indirectly, you'll notice that to become mind identified, to become unconscious, so to speak, we actually have to forget something. We have to forget that that's a thought. And we have to forget that we're the thinker. And we have to forget that that's all happening right here, and that it's not referring to anything outside of here. There's no over there. There's no back then. There's no in the future. There's no other person. And there's actually no me that's having this experience. There's just pure experience. That's all. It's very, very simple. So if you're doing self-inquiry and you're able to touch into this that I'm pointing to, where it's self-confirmatory, meaning the being of it is the confirmation of it. There's no need to have a thought that says, oh, this is it, or oh, this is not it. That's always thought. So what is it that's primary to those thoughts? What is it that's self-confirmatory because it couldn't not be the case right now? It's so simple. It's so right here. So with self-inquiry, we can ask, who am I? And then the moment a thought starts to arise, we recognize, oh, okay, that's a thought. So that's not who I am, because I'm there before the thought. I'm there during and after the thought, or at least the sense of I seems to be. So as the thought arises, our attention can move directly toward it, into it, as it. Then we start to notice, oh, if the thought's moving, I'm moving. There's no I apart from the movement of thought. If there's no I apart from the movement of thought, then there's no thinking that's required. Then what is this? What are you? Who are you right now? Without thought, without thinking, without pushing or pulling at all on your internal experience. Then it will just get neutral. Neutral meaning no grabbing thoughts, no grabbing experiences, no remembering, no forgetting, no conclusions, no finding, no seeking. That's the neutral space. Even a thought that says this is a neutral space is still just a thought. Once you find yourself here, don't reflect on it. Just stay. Don't move. Notice it's all already you. It's all already what is. It doesn't even have to be called you. It doesn't have to be called anything. It's just what is. Simple. Nothing's hidden here. There's no past, present, or future. There's no self or other. There's no nothingness. There's no everythingness. It's a sort of simplicity, but there's also a natural wonder that arises here because it is so natural and simple. There's nothing to do here. This is the point of self-inquiry. So once you experience this, don't make conclusions. Don't get excited and tell yourself you're going to write it down, or that you're going to tell your teacher about it, or you're going to tell your friends about it. Those are thoughts, and they work. They're like fish hooks. They'll grab you if you let them. Just notice those are thoughts. You don't need to record this experience because you are the experience. So don't record, don't reflect, don't comment. Just stay here. Everything goes quiet. The world goes quiet. There's no world out there. There's no inner world in here. There's just this. I sometimes call it unbound consciousness, but there's no need for a name here because there's no reflection that's labeling. There's just what is. There's just this knowingness, this beingness. So the goal is this. Don't move. Lead yourself back here when you sit to meditate if you need to. But once you've arrived where you never have left, things are clear, no thoughts are required to confirm anything, then just stop. That's it.